It's technology, man. When this technology hits Facebook, I don't know when, but when this technology hits and reverses the video, I think we're gonna be good. So let me do this. Why don't we do this? Why don't we flip the camera around? That means I won't see your comments, but at least you'll be able to see me sort of righteously. How's that? Can we do that? Can we get a? Can we do that? Let's see if that works out. Now, Relentless, how in the world are you going to be able to tell what we're looking at? It's because I got my laptop out. And because I'm much less interested in seeing myself than I am in giving a clear message. How about that? So, that said, we have to turn this back from the bed. Stupid. I'm so stupid, man. You know what I say? Okay, we're going to flip the camera now. There we go. Now we're a lot better. Yeah, that works. I believe. Did we flip the camera yet? I meant to. Oh, okay. All right now. Let's get it right. So now, so what did I just do? So first of all, hello everybody. Looking at me righteously in the brand. Thank you so much for supporting and being a part of my grind. Hey Daryl, what's going on? I see you, brother. Because I got my laptop out, I'm able to see my folks. So, what are we talking about when we mean work? Turn down the classical music, that's first of all, because I want to hear myself. Here we go. I'm listening to Lang Lang right now. If you're not familiar with Lang Lang, boy, he puts a relaxation on you. Let me check that out for a minute. Y'all must think I'm crazy. That's what it is. So look, so when I say work, this is what I'm talking about. I'm thinking about this. This was a thought that struck me today, and I'm hoping that it inspires somebody out there. I just posted about this too. I just posted about this. If you're not reading my shit, then you're missing out. I just posted about this, how was I talking about the G Unit deal? Yep. That's what it is. I realized, okay, so I'm going to read this really for myself so that I can get into my frame of thought and be focused. I realized I had to work 10 times harder than other novelists in order to progress beyond all the noise in the industry, with hundreds of thousands of other authors out there, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of books, right? All kinds of education in their background and connections to fuel them. I didn't care. I was ready to outdo them all. So I'm thinking back to when I first started my hustle, my book hustle. And so before I do that, books is like one of the last authentic tools that one has to make money. Um, some other authentic tools can be your skill sets, like skill sets. Like if you're an amazing singer, you might be able to get a job. But being an amazing singer and getting the job is two different things. So there's some hustle involved there. There's some uh, for a singer to get a job, there's some creative marketing and advertising and promotion and connectivity in that equation, right? So if you're an amazing cook, you've got to do some pretty creative, tactical things, activities, to get people to taste what it is that you taste, what the rock is cooking, right? You have got to do some creative marketing. So you can't just be a cook. You can't just be a singer. You just can't just be an author or a novelist or a writer. You've got to have the hustle. Now, when I say hustle, I mean work. And I'm not talking about work like WORK. I'm talking about work as in WERK. There's a difference. When you work, you are putting in over and above the amount of effort that everybody else is putting in. Be clear. When I came into this game, I knew that I was going to win. How did I know I was going to win? Because I know my work ethic. My work ethic is greater than anybody else I know. I don't give a fuck if you're a celebrity, if you're a multimillionaire, if you are connected to the gills. And no disrespect to any of you folks that I know that visit me, that hire me, that applaud me, that we break bread together, that we're the best of friends. No disrespect to any of you, but I'm talking to all of you. Nobody outworks me. And so sometimes I outrun my partners. I always outrun the competition. And then I run above and beyond the call of duty when it's for clients. So I do a lot of working, running, performing, to the point that, you know, I'm in front of a client and I'm like, how that looks. And it's crazy because I was doing that with a client the other day and he just started laughing. He just started laughing. And it was funny because I work myself to death. Maybe that's what keeps me young. Keeps me young and aggressive and progressive and idea creating ideas and creative period and build all of that is probably because of my work ethic. Yo, check this out, right? But that work ethic came from somewhere. It came from my mama and it came from my dada, right? So let me first of all, my work ethic. I originally saw that in my mother. My mother took care of the house. She cooked. She made clothes. She was she's a nurse. She is a nurse. She's an LPN, but she was a LPN or a home care advocate or a specialist, going into people's homes and taking care of them. And but on top of that, she was creative. Mom was creative. I speak in the past sense because so she was doing all of these things, just like everything imaginable Mom was into, and by default she dragged us into it, right? Okay, so those were my formative years, but when I got to be age 8, 9, and 10, I started to be introduced to Dad's world, and Dad's world was a different type of world. Dad's world was the delicatessen. That's the very actually, I was introduced to the delicatessen from my grandmother. So, and I'm gonna post some photos a little later. I've done some Facebooking about this, but I grew up in Mount Vernon, and in Mount Vernon they have a show called Sneaky Pete, which in the history of Mount Vernon, there's never been a show, a large production that has shown Mount Vernon on such a large scale. So, excuse me, Sneaky Pete, Blacklist has done it. Sneaky Pete is doing it now. Hopefully they stay there. But I remember seeing was it Sneaky Pete's main character. I don't want to. Maybe I saw Daryl Jenkins' name in the feed. Maybe maybe this means something to him too. So Giovanni Ribisi, right? He's the actor, amazing actor, by the way. So he was giving chase, or he's being chased through Mount Vernon, and I specifically remember, like, my office was on Prospect and Prospect and Gramerton, right in that area, on that corner, as a matter of fact, in the building on the corner. And my grandmother, so many years back, had a card shop also on Prospect Avenue, and it's now like a fruit stand. So when I saw Sneaky Pete and Giovanni running past Grandma's fruit stand, it pulled up emotions, because here I am, 53 years old, and I remember shit when I was 5 years old, how Grandma ran a card shop back in Mount Vernon, and here we are. This particular location is brought up in a global sense for the world to see, and nobody knows that this was Grandma's shop. It was in the shop. Nobody knows that 50 years later that I had or 40 some odd years later that I had an office in Mount Vernon. And all of the shit going on in the dash in between when I was 5 and 50. And all the stuff in Mount Vernon, and how that whole area where they're doing the shooting on Gramerton Avenue, the filming, all of that means something in my life. Whether it was the news story they did about me trying to buy the RKO Theater, or just so much. It gets deep. But here's my point. I was talking about work. My work ethic comes through my parents, from my grandma. Because even at age 5, I'm in the candy shop. It was a candy shop and a greeting card shop. It's like all those little things. She had a shop, and in Mount Vernon, my grandmother running shop. And I remember these. I remember being in the shop, and maybe by the convenience or whatever it was, this was because Grandma lived in White Plains on Washington, up Battle Hill on Washington, and the whole Gilmore and family came from there. So my dad's still alive. Maybe we'll have conversation about it. Maybe not. I don't know, but it was interesting. So Mount Vernon and White Plains are like almost 30 minutes apart. But I grew up mostly in Mount Vernon. I grew up in White Plains as well, born in White Plains. But, Dad and Mom moved to Mount Vernon and made their family there. And so the work ethic traversed from Grandma's blood into my dad's blood and then into my blood. And when I was 8, 9, 10, I was brought to the deli. And I was running the cash register, inevitably running the cash register, giving change for Snickers bars and cigarettes and candy and so on and so forth. And I grew up and I was savvy with it, and I was me. The work ethic, just the work ethic was pouring out of me. I'm not a lazy person. I'm not a slacker. I'm not a person that just lays down and does nothing. Even if I do a lot of computer work. I can't sit at a computer. I can sit at a computer for hours. I surely can. But I'm going to have to get up and do some other kind of work because I can get kind of lazy, feeling kind of lazy. Today, I worked out. I love working out. I'm about to go hard again at working out. I don't know if you all remember how long you've been with me on Facebook, but I used to be in that gym daily. But I got relaxed a year ago when I moved into this 5-bedroom here on the West End, and shit got a little relaxed, right? So it's time to get back. But I bought some equipment for the house, so I got the weights and the free weights and a rowing machine and a jump rope, and I'm about to get a boxing bag, a heavy bag, because like my true sport, my true workout comes from hitting the bag and boxing, and just staying agile, and the elasticity behind boxing is pretty big, and also staying game ready. So those things are the work ethic is very important. That's the only reason I've been able to progress as an author, as a novelist, as a TV producer, as a web designer, as a graphics designer, as a photographer, all this shit that I do. I've only been able to do all of that because of my work ethic. So, a lot of us, we do one thing great. I did that one thing great as an author. But ultimately, even though I write those books, ultimately that just says that I'm a content creator. That doesn't say that creating content has to be subjected to books only. Why not do podcasts? Why not tell stories through infographics? Why not tell stories through PowerPoint presentations? And of course, trite video, as well as short form video, as well as documentaries, and as well as films. So long form films. Why not? We are so much. I said this years ago when I realized who Gordon Parks was, that I was gonna walk in his shoes. And God bless him, he was doing the most. And all we are, folks, you, me, the people around you, the people you love, all we are is how resourceful can you be with your 24 hours? How resourceful can you be with your relationships, with your skills and talents, with your time, with your mortality, with your health, with the time with your waking hours, with your sleeping hours? How resourceful can you be with your love? How resourceful can you be? And in being resourceful, how helpful can you be to others? I get the greatest feeling when I'm helping somebody else and they achieve a goal through my skill set. Nothing like it. It's an amazing feeling. And so let me rewind and say that, when I started writing books, I said that my intention was that I was going to be the best at what I do. And that took not only courage, but it took work. You can say a thing, but doing it, a whole different story. And doing it, saying a thing and doing it and then being recognized for it. But recognized on a global scale. That part right there. That part right there. That part right there. So, and then the timing. Let me say something. The timing is very, very important. Because without the timing, I would not have even in the story. You'll see in the link. I'm gonna post the link now in the comments. In the link, or rather, in the relationship with G Unit Books and 50 Cent and Violator Management, there's no way anybody would have paid any attention to me if I didn't do the work. I had to put the work in. True story. Had to put the work in. And nothing's free. Like, you have to give to get. You have to put it out. So writing a book takes time. And you have to do, once you do the work in planning the book, do the work in practicing to be a writer, the more practice, the better the writer you will be. Inevitably, that's how you get the six-figure advances. That's how you get the deals with 50 Cent or St. Martin's Press or Simon & Schuster. That's how you get applauded by ABC World News and Time Magazine and King Magazine and Ebony Magazine and on Daily News, all of that, on and on and on. The only way you do all of that is through the work. You got to do the work. You can't do, there's no shortcuts to this shit. There's no, I don't care how many of these gurus get online and say, "Ooh, I'm going to teach you how to write a book in a week," or no, or "I'm going to teach you how to be a best-selling," no. There's no shortcuts to this shit. You got to do the work. The work means mastering your craft or mastering your story. But in mastering your story, you're going to have to deliver it some way. So the only way to deliver your story is through words, pictures, motion pictures, motion or audio. You know, those are the only ways to share your story, or on stage. So it's in person, live, and in person. Those are the ways that you share your story. So, but if you're going to be in books, you're going to have to master that. You're going to have to master writing the book. And then on top of that, I said earlier that you could be the talent, but you're going to need to do the promotion. So you can't just write the book. You got to promote the book. You got to market the book. You got to create the relationships. And in doing all of that, inevitably you will hit pay dirt. But it depends on the hard work ethic in you. Do you have hard work ethic? Or do you just make excuses? Do you have hard work ethic? Or do you try to cling on to somebody who has done the hard work? Do you have hard work ethic, or are you a slacker? Do you have hard work ethic, or are you laying on the couch at mom's house? Do you have a hard work ethic, or are you not achieving the goals and the dreams and the purpose that you set out to accomplish years ago? What happened to your dreams? What happened? Where'd they go? So, sorry about the tough love, folks, but that's how I do. So, and again, you know what? I really don't expect everybody to be me. I don't. I expect people to be them, to do the average shit on average days and get average results. I need you to keep doing that, because you leave room for the rest of us. You leave room for the winners. Sorry. It's so true, man. Just so true, man. You leave room for me so I can be the champion. I love you. relentless+aaron.net